Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 7 and we're on pages 23 through 24. In this module you're going to learn about basic intervals, and that's going to lay the foundation for understanding chords and harmony. An interval is the distance in pitch between two notes, and intervals are labeled numerically, so the closer the notes are in pitch, the smaller the number, and the farther apart they are, the larger the number. When one note is in a space and the other note is on an adjacent line, then the two notes are one step apart. In the example, we have an F and a G, they're one step apart, and a D and an E are one step apart. An interval, or the distance between two notes, can be assigned a number value, and to identify an interval, we count the steps. So we start with the first note and count the steps to the next note, counting the first note as 1. The interval from D to E is a second. We count D as 1, E is 2. The distance between a C and an E is a third. C, D, E. 1, 2, 3. There's your third. The interval between this A and this E is a fifth. A is 1, so A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have a fifth. And the interval between this G and the upper G is an octave. We don't call it an eighth, we just call it an octave. But G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, octave. Now if the second note is lower, you still count the steps, you're just counting downwards instead of upwards. So an E going down to a C, E, D, C, 1, 2, 3, that would be a third, and a C going down to an F, C, B, A, G, F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's an interval of a fifth. On the top of page 24, we have an interval overview. We're looking at intervals of second through an octave, starting on the note E. So E to F, E, F, 1, 2, that's the interval of a second. E to G, E, F, G, interval of a third. E up to A, E, F, G, A, we've got our fourth. E to B is a fifth, E, F, G, A, B. E to C is a sixth, E, F, G, A, B, C. And E to D is a seventh, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, 7 notes, so that's a seventh. And then E to the next E up is 8 notes, or an octave. At the bottom of page 24, we have this interval exercise. Your job is to name the intervals by counting the steps up or down from the first note. If you have my book, Guitar Theory Modules, just write your answers right there in the book, and you can check your work on page 212. And if you don't have my book, just go ahead and write this on a piece of paper. We're going to go over these answers in just a second, so pause the video, write your answers, and then start it up again and check your work. So number 1, we have a B going to a C, B, C, that's 2 notes, that's the interval of a second. Number 2, we have D up to B, so just count your notes. D, E, F, G, A, B, 6 notes. That is a sixth going from D to B. Number 3, E up to the next E. I'm not going to count the notes, just E to the next E is always going to be an octave. Number 4, F going up to A, that's going to be a third, F, G, A, 1, 2, 3. Number 5, D going down to B, so D, C, B, that is the interval of a third. Number 6, the F going to the next F down, that's going to be an octave. Number 7, G going down to F, so G, F, that's a second. Number 8, A going down to E, so A, G, F, E, that's the interval of a fourth. Number 9, F going up to B, F, G, A, B, 4 notes, that's the interval of a fourth. Number 10, E going down to D, E, D, 2 notes, that's a second. Number 11, B going down to E, B, A, G, F, E, that's a fifth. And then number 12, D going up to C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. That's the interval of a seventh. The next few modules expand on these basic intervals, so spend about a week with these intervals, make sure you can recognize them, make sure you understand them before you move on to Module 8. The best way to do that is to practice identifying intervals in the music you play. So pick a small part of music that you're playing and identify the intervals note by note. So let's say you have this melody right here. You would go from the G to the E, identifying that as a 6, G, A, B, C, D, I need one more finger, E, so that's 6. Then E going down to D, that's E to D, that's just 2 notes, so that's the second. D going down to C is a second. C going back to D is a second. D going back to C is a second. C going down to A, C, B, A, that's 3 notes, so that's a third. A to G, that is a second. And then G down to E, G, F, E, 3 notes, so that's going to be a third. You'll find most melodies are made up mostly of seconds and thirds, with the wider intervals like the fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, and octaves being less common. Also, keep up with the stuff you've learned in modules 1 through 6. So keep playing those major scale forms, practice writing your major scales, make sure you can recite the row of sharps and flats, and be in the habit of identifying major key signatures in the music you play. That probably sounds like a lot right now, but we're just laying the groundwork here. And if you do this enough, eventually it's going to be as simple as your ABCs. Don't forget to check out my book, Guitar Theory Modules. Of course, you can follow all these videos without my book, but if you do have Guitar Theory Modules, it's going to be easier to keep track of what's going on, and you're going to have all this information in one place. So I'll leave a link for that in the description. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and when you're ready, I will see you in Module 8, where you're going to learn about major and minor intervals.